guarantees. But skipper Brian Laudrup returns after scoring in Denmark's defeat of Croatia to partner Marco Negri up front. Paul Gascoigne's back as well. It's another significant change to the Rangers team. Gaza was the star of England's 4-0 win against Moldova at Wembley on Wednesday. Another Englishman who could play an important part at Ibrox is Mike Newell. He was a Premiership winner alongside Alan Shearer at Blackburn and has 5 goals so far for Aberdeen. His strike partner is Billy Dodds, who will miss the Coca-Cola Cup semi-final against Dundee United because of suspension, but is clear to play today. John Ingalls continues in central defence alongside Brian O'Neill, and the only change from the team who beat Stirling Albion on Wednesday is the recall of Gary Smith in place of Bulgarian left-back Zanko Svetanov. The referee for Rangers Aberdeen is Hugh Dallas. Rangers kick off, 2 wins out of 2 in the league so far against Hearts and Dundee United, and they scored 8 goals in the process. But they are trying to bounce back from a Coca-Cola Cup defeat at the hands of the Tannadice team during the week. Ustensas, Laudrup. Early touch for Jess. Dispossessed, but free kick given against Rino Gattuso. With Dr. Newell in the middle. That was aimed for Ian Jess. It runs all the way through to Paul Gascoigne. That brings Alec Cleland into the play. And again. It's a 1-2 with Laudrup. Cleland against Gary Smith. Smith managed to block the crosser attempt. Out for the corner kick. Alec Cleland is very pacey. Smith dealt with that well. Craig Moore into the penalty area. For Laudrup's corner kick. Can't quite get there, but it runs all the way through to Parini. And Marco Negri scores! It's offside though, it won't count. Negri thought it is 11th goal of the season, but ruled out by the linesman's flag. John Love on the far side spotted that. Aberdeen will be concerned about the space given here to Parini, and turned in by his fellow Italian, Negri. That will have given a fright to Aberdeen. Jess's pass easily cut out by Stensas. Cleland. And Ian Ferguson, who took a knock during the week, but he's made a quick recovery. Ferguson again. Pushing up to Stephen Glass. Gascoigne. The effort from Gascoigne, not far away. He's been Aberdeen's worst nightmare in games gone by. And that was his first approach to the penalty area in this match. The left foot attempt too high. Brian O'Neill used to the big atmosphere and played in so many big games with Celtic. Newell beaten by Parini. That's a good tackle by Rowson on Laudrup, who's still grounded. That's a slip by Brian O'Neill. In from Stensas and Negri. It bounces over the crossbar. And Jim Layton is angry with Brian O'Neill. Possession given away. This should have been turned out of play. Instead, all Brian O'Neill did was feed Stele Stensas, and his cross so nearly headed in by Negri. Good cross this from the Norwegian, and too much downward power on that header. Free kick given against Ian Jess for a tackle on Marco Negri. The Aberdeen midfielder not too impressed. Paul Gascoigne is over the ball. Ian Ferguson there too. Alec Cleland alongside. We all know what Gascoigne is capable of doing from this sort of position. Jim Layton making sure everything is right between him and the Rangers midfielder. Gascoigne's effort, saved by Leighton. He was taking no chances and trying to catch it. He was quite happy to parry that one round the post. So impressive for Scotland against Belarus at Petrovsky last Sunday. Now a whole new ball game. Neil does well as two Rangers players collide. Ian Jess makes the run forward. Stephen Glass in for Dodds, and play has stopped. Tony Vidmar is one of the injured players. Ian Ferguson was involved as well, and Ferguson keen to find out if Vidmar's okay. Two Rangers players going for the same ball there, and it was Ferguson who collided with Vidmar. Roy Aitken with a look of what's happening here. Hugh Dallas comes to have words with Martin Clark, the assistant referee, on the main stand side. And Dallas now has words with Roy Aitken. Aitken presumably has had words with Martin Clark, has left the technical area, that seemed to be the indication there, and is being warned as to his conduct in this match. Vidmar has obviously taken a knock in the ribs, but he's okay. Walter Smith has left his seat in the stand, come down to the dugout. Rangers lacking that vital spark at the moment. Glass available for the short pass. Not much momentum at the moment for Aberdeen. Now Stephen Glass with the cross. Billy Dodds offside. Maybe just as well for the Rangers defence he was offside, because they hadn't picked him up. Nicely delivered cross this from Glass, and Vidmar momentarily had lost Dodds. Gascoigne, deep play in the middle. Stensas is clear on the left if Gascoigne needs him. Good interception again by Ingles. Ferguson to Laudrup. Well, Gascoigne was there. Now Stensas. Well charged down by Ingles. Gattuso. That's well done. In behind Billy Dodds. Was he fouled? Yes, he was. And Billy Dodds will be booked for obstruction on Gattuso. Chipped in by Laudrup. Partially cleared by Aberdeen, but only as far as Stensas. Gattuso was in behind Dodds and clearly fouled. And that Gascoigne is over the free kick. Whacked away by Jim Leighton. Not looking completely happy with that, but the danger over. Meantime for Aberdeen. No great pressure on Jim Leighton there. Might have thought about catching it. Just tapped it away. Bernard in for Dodds. Dodds against Vidmar. Good turn by Billy Dodds, but it was well blocked, that too, by Australian Vidmar. He came on as a substitute for Kevin Gallagher at Petrovsky last Sunday, played the closing minutes. Jim Miller's corner kick. Up there was Brian O'Neill. In from Bernard, blocked by Gascoigne. Paul Bernard again. Too high that time. But Aberdeen will be encouraged by the problems they caused Rangers from this corner kick. Ian Jess was jumping for the header, partially cleared by Gattuso, and then the shot from Bernard, blocked by Gascoigne, and the second attempt from Bernard over the top. The free kick goes against Craig Moore for the foul on Mike Newell. It's the first half constantly interrupted by the referee's whistle. Negri linking with Gascoigne. Stensas available here. Rowson comes to meet him. Stensas gets inside, and a good save by Jim Leighton. The Norwegian did well to find the space for the shot. Gascoigne was the starting point for the move, but Stensas worked his own opening, and Jim Leighton saved well. Brian O'Neill, almost a lapse in the area. Marco Negri crashes down, it's a penalty kick. And that is a disastrous moment for Brian O'Neill. Self-inflicted. The loose pass intercepted by Ferguson, and then O'Neill bundled over Negri. Penalty. Marco Negri hasn't threatened too much in this match, and Aberdeen will feel that they brought that upon themselves. Just 90 seconds from the half-time whistle. Marco Negri scores for Rangers. His 11th goal of the season. Jim Leighton got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. And Aberdeen will be hugely disappointed with the way the first half ends. He got down to it, but could only push it into the side of the net. Confidently driven penalty by Negri. Paul Gascoigne, almost not as fast as walking pace. Craig Moore. Well, Gascoigne picks up the pace. Past Ricky Gillis. Good effort from Gascoigne. He has that ability to look momentarily disinterested, and then he suddenly cracks into gear. Away from Gillis, but the shot off target. So Rangers have a 1-0 half-time lead, thanks to Marco Negri, yet again, from the penalty spot this time. And the goal, a huge disappointment for Brian O'Neill. Gave the ball away and then bundled over Negri for the penalty. Aberdeen, who'd looked fairly comfortable for most of the half against Rangers, one down at half-time. It's Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0. For the second half, George Albertz is on in place of Alec Cleland. Aberdeen get the second half started. They'll be so disappointed at having lost that late first half goal, having done some pretty good containing work. Free kick taken quickly by Newell for Billy Dodds. Paul Gascoigne has flitted in and out of the game, as he's wont to do. He can be so important. Lovely ball for Laudrup. Didn't quite manage to keep it in, though. And Laudrup maybe a touch casual about collecting that ball at the byline, and allowed it to cross the line. Martin Clark was on the spot to make that decision. Gascoigne back to Laudrup again. Negri, good save by Leighton, read it well, quickly off his line. It was a good change of direction from Negri, a good angled run, and he was quickly spotted by Laudrup, but Leighton saved it well. Smith to Glass. Stephen Glass in behind Craig Moore. Lovely ball in. And desperation from Vidmar at the near post. It was a good defensive header, because this was a very dangerous cross indeed. Whipped in by Glass, headed over by Vidmar. Joe Miller's corner kick. Up was Brian O'Neill. Cleared by Ferguson. O'Neill desperate to atone for his mistake in the first half, which gave Rangers the lead. Stephen Glass trying to get behind Paul Gascoigne to the ball. Smiles all round. Stephen Glass wasn't prepared to give this up as Paul Gascoigne tried to usher it towards the goal line. And a round of applause from Roy Aitken. The left foot of Alberts. Nicely judged ball for Negri. And a good effort too. It was a dipping volley. Well, he's not happy with it himself. You can see that from his expression. Looked as if he might have handled the ball as it came his way from Alberts. And then he went for the dipping right foot volley. Leighton's clearance, straight to Ian Ferguson. Negri to Alberts. And that's number 2 for Rangers. George Alberts has only been on the field for 10 minutes. A second-half substitute. And that makes the Rangers fans breathe a whole lot easier. It all looked too easy for Rangers. They really cut through the Aberdeen defence, and Alberts applied the finish. He really does strike them, and Jim Leighton with no chance of stopping that. Gillis to Bernard. Good tackle by Porini on Dodds. Joe Miller manages to find Paul Bernard. Stephen Glass. Dodds and Newell in the middle. That's in for Mike Newell. Good defensive header by Stensas. Newell was a threatening figure at the far post for this Glass cross, but good defensive play by the Norwegian. Joe Miller's corner. Header from Brian O'Neill. Dodds. Good turn, but couldn't put the shot on target. Miller can try again. There's Mike Newell! Newell scores for Aberdeen. Goal number 6 of the season for him. And that brings Aberdeen right back into this game. It was so important that they struck quickly after Rangers had scored a second. And Newell winning the Miller cross and scoring with a flashing header. He scored a lot of goals in his time in English football with Leicester, Everton and Birmingham. And he's now doing it for the Dons. A worry for Messrs Knox and Smith that the Rangers defence was beaten to that cross. The layoff by Laudrup under pressure from Smith. The Rangers fans thought that was a foul. Alberts lining up for the left foot shot, and Marco Negri wasn't too far away either. Aberdeen defence reckoned that Negri was offside as the shot came in from Alberts. It was always fairly clear that he was lining up for a shot at goal. Laudrup. Ferguson getting away from Gillis. The layoff from Negri to Gattuso. Alberts. And Negri, good touch there, important touch from Jim Leighton. Otherwise, Marco Negri looked as if he might have had his second goal of the game. And that looked a wild challenge by Craig Moore on Stephen Glass, and immediately the yellow card shown. Roy Aitken issuing some firm instructions to Paul Bernard. This was a really rash challenge on Glass. Bernard. Stephen Glass. Bernard in the middle alongside Dodds and Newell. Stephen Glass's cross didn't reach that far. Charged down by Craig Moore. Joe Miller's corner kick. John Ingalls couldn't get his head to it. Shouldered off the ball by Moore. Ingalls wins it back. Now Bernard's shot, and Dodds! Billy Dodds has scored, and Aberdeen are level. That's brilliant finishing from Dodds. Superb turn and shot. And Snelders had no chance of keeping this out. The ball was won well by Ingalls. The shot from Bernard, and Dodds with that finish. He's in the Scotland squad, and when you see finishing like this, you understand why. He's been up and down between the stand and dugout, but meantime, Walter Smith settling for one of the deer seats. Stensas, Gattuso. Stensas again for Laudrup. George Alberts is in field. Hugh Dallas in the way. Negri trying to turn. Got the shot in, but didn't get the power behind it. Not too much trouble there for Jim Leighton. But Negri is so difficult to shake off the ball when it's played into him. It was a good turn. Rangers fans not happy with the way things are going at the moment, and that's an awkward collision between Gary Smith and Brian Laudrup. Laudrup looked as if he'd fallen awkwardly. Rangers make a change. Ian Ferguson has come off, and at 2-2 it sounds like a job for Ali McCoist. Negri's head flick. Can Laudrup keep it in? Yes, he can. That's a lovely effort from Laudrup. Pure magic from Brian Laudrup. A special goal. You don't see that sort of skill too often. And it restores Rangers' leads at 3-2. Well, that was worth the admission money alone. What possibly could Brian Laudrup do from that sort of position, tight to the byline? But there are a lot of tricks in the box, and that's one of them. It would seem impossible to score from that sort of angle. Gary Smith couldn't keep it out. You'll be seeing this goal a lot more. One of the best. Mr. Glass, useful cross. Tia Snelders came to catch it, but Tony Vidmar was taking no chances. In from Joe Miller. And Aberdeen have equalised this. John Ingalls, what an incredible game. John Ingalls celebrates. The Rangers defence will be having an inquest because that was a free header and John Ingalls made them pay. Good cross from Miller, but where was the marking here? Aberdeen aren't complaining. Ingalls levels the game yet again. Snelders furious with his defence at that lack of marking. A shake of the head there from Walter Smith. Sure, like many inside Ibrox, he can't quite believe this match. Rowson to Gillis. Using the handoff to keep Rino Gattuso at bay. Paul Bernard. Stephen Glass. Windus and Dodds in the middle. It's a good-looking cross away from Vidmar. Ricky Gillis struck it very well indeed from 30 yards. Comfortably held by Snelders, but that was really powerfully hit by the former St Mirren man. Joe Miller taking the ball for a run. And fouled by Tony Vidmar. Pretty unnecessary infringement there, use of the hands. Gillis away from Gattuso. Ricky Gillis is looking very impressive indeed for Aberdeen. Bernard looking to link again with Ricky Gillis, who made a good run. Winders chests it down to Dodds. Well wide, beautifully set up. It was a lovely Aberdeen move. Ricky Gillis was at the heart of it. Good cross. Winders fed Dodds, but way off. Nearly a minute into stoppage time as Stensas knocks the ball down to McCoist. Not the layoff for Charlie Miller, but Paul Bernard's pass was read by Vidmar. Here's Marco Negri. Is there yet more drama to come in this amazing game? Negri, though, took too long, beaten by Gary Smith. Free kick given against Smith. And this may well be Rangers' last chance to win the game. Aberdeen, lots of pressure on them to defend this properly. The free kick really didn't ask too many questions, cleared by Gary Smith. And that's full time. 6 goals at Ibrox, a quite incredible match. Rangers got themselves 2 ahead thanks to Marco Negri and George Alberts. Mike Newell pulled one back. Then Billy Dodds equalised, and a moment of magic from Brian Laudrup restored Rangers' lead. But there was still one more blow to be struck by Aberdeen, and John Ingall's header from Joe Miller's cross rescued a point for Aberdeen. The Aberdeen players acclaim their supporters. They'll be well happy with this performance and with this result too. At Ibrox, the final score, Rangers 3, Aberdeen 3.